Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another super easy keto meal recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make easy keto crispy chicken sandwiches. These are super easy and so out of this world delicious. You do not need any special equipment. All you need is your oven, because the way we are going to fry these in your oven, they are going to taste just like they've came out of the frying pan or your air fryer. They're going to be absolutely crispy and delicious. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos, at least every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Generously spray an oven fryer rack with cooking spray. If you don't have an oven fryer rack, then just line a large baking sheet with either parchment paper or aluminum foil. Then place a cooling rack on the top of it and lightly spray the cooling rack with some cooking spray. You do want to have some type of rack on the baking sheet, because when you cook the chicken on the rack, you want it to be elevated a little bit so that your chicken can get crispy on all sides. Then set your pan aside for just a minute. Place 4 ounces of pork rinds in a large Ziploc bag. Then use your hands or a rolling pin and crush the pork rinds into very fine crumbs. The finer the pork rind crumbs are crushed, the better they will stick to your chicken. Think of dried breadcrumbs. That's basically what you're trying to replicate, is the texture of dried breadcrumbs. You can also crush these in a food processor if you prefer to crush them that way rather than in a Ziploc bag. I like to crush them in a bag as opposed to my processor, because I feel I can get a finer texture when I'm actually crushing them by hand. Sometimes with the food processor, you still have bigger chunks. If you don't have pork rinds or you don't want to use pork rinds, just use any keto dry breadcrumbs of your choice. I will say, if you use a keto dried breadcrumb as opposed to the pork rinds, there's no guarantee that it will crisp up as well as the pork rinds do. Add 11 grams or around 2 tablespoons of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Make sure this is freshly grated. You really don't want the canned stuff. You can use it if that's all you have, but it really tastes a whole lot better and has a better texture if it is freshly grated. Add 2 tablespoons of the dry seasonings of your choice. I'm using 2 teaspoons of dry oregano, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of paprika, and a half teaspoon of onion powder. You can use whatever mixture of dry seasonings and spices that you want. Add salt and pepper to your personal taste. I'm using a half teaspoon of salt and a half teaspoon of pepper. You use however much. Keep in mind that the pork rinds are already salted, so don't go too crazy with the salt, otherwise your breading will be very salty. Once everything's combined, then shake the bag up a bit until the seasonings and the pork rind crumbs are fully combined. Then set the bag aside for just a minute. In a wide bowl, combine 1 large egg and 69 grams or around 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. Use a fork and stir the egg and the mayonnaise together until everything is fully combined and smooth. Now you can substitute the mayonnaise out for plain yogurt or sour cream or something like that, but I really wouldn't advise it. It will still taste good, but the mayonnaise is the key to making your breading taste like it's actually been fried in oil or fried in an air fryer. It really does make a huge difference if you use mayonnaise as opposed to sour cream or yogurt or milk or anything like that. It does make a very big difference in taste and texture. Pour about 1/4 of the pork rind mixture into a separate wide bowl. Then take 4 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. For me, it was a little over 1 pound. The poundage can vary depending on how big your boneless chicken thighs are. Place one chicken thigh into the mayonnaise mixture and turn the chicken thigh to completely coat it with the mixture. Make sure that it is completely coated with the mayonnaise mixture. Then place the mayonnaise-coated thigh into the pork rind mixture and turn to fully coat the thigh with the pork rind mixture. Now, when you're doing this, make sure you don't put all of the pork rind mixture into the bowl at once. If you do that, then it gets wet and soggy and you'll lose that crisp texture that you're going to want when you go to oven fry these. So just add a fourth of the mixture, and then after each thigh, after you coat each thigh, add another fourth of the mixture until all of the pork rind mixture is used and all of the thighs are coated. As you're turning and coating the chicken in the pork rind mixture, use your fingers and gently press the pork rind mixture into the mayonnaise mixture to make sure that the crumbs fully stick to your chicken. Once the thigh is completely coated, place it onto your prepared oven fryer basket or your cooling rack, whichever one you're using. Repeat the coating process until all 4 of the thighs are completely coated and placed onto your oven fryer rack or your cooling rack. Make sure when you're placing the chicken on your rack that you leave a little bit of space between each one of the chicken thighs. That way you can be sure to have a nice even crispy cook around the entire chicken thigh. Lightly spray the top of the thighs with some cooking spray. This is just going to help make sure that the breading stays intact, and it will also help it get a little bit of a crisper texture. Then place the thighs into your preheated oven and bake at 425 degrees for 40 to 45 minutes or until the breading is golden and crispy and the internal temperature of the chicken is at least 165 degrees. Once the chicken is done baking, remove it from the oven. Allow it to cool on the rack for about 5 minutes. You don't want to burn your fingers, so let it cool a little bit. To assemble the sandwiches, take a keto hamburger bun of your choice, then spoon the desired amount of the sauce of your choice on the top and the bottom bun. I'm using my Thousand Island dressing. I'll leave a link in the description to that recipe if you want to use that. It tastes excellent on this. After you spread the sauce, then place one chicken thigh on a bottom bun. If you want to, you can top it with some cheese and some desired toppings of your choice. I'm using Colby cheese and red leaf lettuce, baby spinach, and tomato to top mine with. You can use whatever you want. Then cover the toppings with your top bun. Serve these sandwiches warm. If you do have any leftovers, allow them to cool completely. Then store them in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 3 days. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.